I've decided to present this workshop on reverse polarity and on chronic reverse polarity, because now is the time that we are surrounded by a lot of stress and a lot of trauma that affect our bodies and will affect the way the polarity of the body is. It's important to understand that the polarity, the magnetic fields have a polarity. That means they have a south pole and a north pole. And in regular conditions, without lots of stress and lots of trauma, they will be functioning that way. But if there are changes in the polarity because of stress and trauma, which we are now have plenty of that, then our systems will not function properly. Body can be very taxed by that and can be weakened by that, and that can cause many problems. And when it becomes chronic, when it's a longer time, we can see big effects of that weakened body, and problems like dyslexia and anxiety and many other characteristics of ADHD, because ADHD seems to mimic these problems of the weakening of the fields, of the magnetic fields, and so we have a lot of characteristics that are similar to ADHD, and actually maybe the people diagnosed with ADHD are not always ADHD, but the cause might be the weakening of the magnetic fields and the changes of the polarity of the magnetic field. In the next part of this video now, I will propose a simple protocol for dealing with reverse polarity. For those familiar with polarity and craniosacral therapy, it can be noticed that the primal midline may not be well defined. Normally, the primal midline can be felt throughout life as an uprising force from the coccyx through the spine to the ethmoid and the pineal gland. And stress present in the developing embryo and fetus, through affecting the primal midline, may predispose the individual to be more sensitive in life to stress and trauma, such as now during the pandemic. It seems to be really extremely important in our work now to relate to the midline and listen to that primal midline. I will now discuss the proposed treatment protocol for polarity reversals. This is step number 1, testing with kinesiology to see if he is really reversed. And again, I can't do here the whole teaching of kinesiology, so people who don't know kinesiology have to learn a little bit more to do it for themselves, but it's very easy. So I'm going to check First, I'm just going to ask a question. Number 2 now is listening with still points at the head and the feet. As we know, still points can be listened to at any place in the body. Can I take your glasses off? Affirmation. I profoundly and deeply accept myself with all my problems and all my shortcomings. To repeat, as I said before, Roger Cullinan found out that a lot of people who have reversals have trouble with accepting themselves. We tap for about 35 times. I'm not going to be doing not counting 35 times now. It doesn't matter. It's a long time, many times. So I'm just going to do it shortly here. I'm not going to explain it too much because it really is a long treatment to explain. It's basically going to balance the nervous system, the whole body. Just before I did the practical on explaining how important the midline is and how important the awareness of the midline is. So I'm just going to tune in quietly here and just listen to his midline going from the coccyx to the ethmoid, the pineal gland, through the spine. Now I'm just rechecking with kinesiology if he's still reversed. The reversal can be like a chronic reversal, so then he would need many sessions. But sometimes it helps just even a short session for the time being, and so we have to see how that works later. Much quicker than at the beginning of this little session.